Welcome to my reaction to the AJ Brown Jalen Hurts saga. In this episode, you see me reacting to an ESPN video talking about the Patriots and Eagles joint practice. Take a listen.
Let's get everybody outside into the nice weather in Foxborough, where the Eagles are facing the Patriots in joint practice today, which of course meant a reunion between A.J. Brown and his former team. Also meant Sal Palantonio was on the scene, and after practice, he caught up with A.J. Brown. Listen to this.
That first route, that 9 route,
Yeah.
down the sideline.
Yeah.
They called your number right from the get-go.
Yeah.
Did Q get away with a hold there?
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. But he pulled himself back into play. You know, obviously there's no call, so it doesn't matter. So he won that rep. You know, I got a lot of respect for Q, man. He's incredible. He's going to continue to get better. And I'm expecting some big things from him.
What do you think of your quarterback? You're spending a lot of time.
I will say, if that play kind of went viral. When I first typed in Eagles Patriots joint practice, that was like the first thing I saw. This was like, I think the practice was Tuesday, I believe. Oof. But I saw that was like the clip I saw. AJ had a good release off the line. I feel like he had like a step and a half on Q, and he did had his one hand tied up, tried to one hand it in. He dropped it. Everybody saw that. That was a tough catch. Good rep. Maybe in the real game it gets called, maybe it don't. But that was a really good rep and everything like that. But now let's continue.
Time with Drake May after practicing one-on-ones, right? Just going through film, going through your catch tape to try to improve.
Yeah.
What do you think so far of his approach?
Drake?
Of Drake.
Man, he's a true leader. He's a true leader, man.
How so?
He's young, man, and he's always watching tape. He's always trying to get better. We're sitting talking about the defenses and what you like and how you see the game, and we're trying to see it at the same time. That's the biggest hurdle right now. Obviously when we sit down and we talk in the meetings, it's easy. But when we out there and the bullets flying, we need to think at the same time, and that's
really good to hear. Just in general, I think for those that's played football, where you play at the NFL level, college, for me, high school was it, man. But no matter what it is that you're doing in life, and especially if you're doing it with others, especially business, sports, whatever it may be, like you want to be on the same page with people, and it takes time to get acclimated properly to where you're thinking the same. Not always. Of course, you'll have differences, but where things are flowing in a way as to the point where we don't even got to really, depending on what it is, necessarily verbalize or do certain things, so we already know how the other person operates. So it's cool to hear that. And like how you also mentioned, we be in film is one thing, and us by ourselves going over, throwing the ball, things like that. But when it's actually live practice, actual game, that's where you can really see, okay, we need to work on this, need to work on that. So it's cool to hear that insight from a professional like AJ. And I think him and AJ and this Patriots offense with Drake May is going to be a good connection. And even if we can't forget about Romeo Dobbs being there, man, I feel like, both of them, I think Romeo Dobbs about to go off. He might. I'm not familiar with the Patriots offense, but man, I feel like AJ may get a lot of coverage for his side. Romeo Dobbs may benefit a lot, along with I think Boutte still there. If he remains, they could really eat. And I think Henry, if I'm correct, Henry is the tight end. Let me see. Let me look up the Patriots roster real quick. That have potential. I'm not saying they're going back to the Super Bowl. It's not impossible, but it's not guaranteed, to go back. But let me just look at that roster real quick. Tight ends. Let me see. Now I'll go to receivers here in a minute. So Hunter Henry is still there as a tight end. Quite a few tight ends. Let me look at their receivers. Keyshawn Boutte, AJ Brown, Efton Chisholm, Kyle Dixon, Cameron Dorner, Romeo Dobbs, Demario Douglas is number 3, Matt Collins. They got a nice little receiving room, for real. They got a really nice receiver. I forgot they got Kyle Williams. He's a rookie, right? Yeah. Is he a rookie? We'll see a rookie last year. Look, Kyle Williams. I'm sorry, I'm going off on tangents. Okay, no, this is his second year in the league. He was a rookie last year. That's right. But no, they have a nice little receiving core with AJ Brown being that lead dog. But I feel like these other guys like Demario Douglas, Romeo Dobbs, and Kayshon Boutte can really eat. Drake May can sling that thing. But let's move forward. Let's move forward.
Where we're getting to, and we've done good. We have done good sometimes, and we miss the mark sometimes as well, and that's expected, because we still learn each other and we're still trying to keep this thing going.
Still got love for Philly?
Always. I will always have love for Philly, regardless.
Always.
If I'm liked or hated, it's love. We won a Super Bowl together. I'll never forget that. I love my fellow teammates. I still talk to them. It's love, man.
Talk to Jalen?
Not him, but a lot of guys.
So when I was watching this video at first, and I don't even do no video or anything, especially not on this topic, because one, like when I'm covering sports, I'm not covering drama, especially if it's off the field. Not whatever happened with their relationship, AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts. They was cool at one point, but whatever happened over these years, I hope they work that out as men, and hopefully I don't know the seriousness of it, or if it's just a misunderstanding. Hopefully it can be worked out and they can move forward where they go back to being friends or not. Up to them. But man, when he said, I'm gonna just go back just a little bit. Let me see what.
Talk to him. It's love, man.
Because he said he still talked to some of his former teammates. And then let me see. Let me just play it through.
Talk to Jalen?
Not him, but
it was the way he was straightforward. Not him. I was like, oh, that must make me laugh so hard. And then it's gonna be another part. We'll keep going.
A lot of guys, but I'm sure we'll probably catch up at some time this week.
Okay.
Yep.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank y'all.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
And now we welcome in Sal Paolantonio, who is on the scene in Foxborough. Sal, lots of eyes on this joint practice. Fill us in on everything we need to know from today.
Well, Dan, the big headline, obviously, from today is that A.J. Brown revealed that he's not.
To me, it's not a big headline. But, for their business, what they're trying to do, you're trying to push numbers, and yeah, I get it. It's like, it is what it is. But that's not a big headline. For me, it's not. It is what it is. So.
Talked to Jalen Hurts since the trade to the New England Patriots. That was the headline. And, of course, Jalen Hurts recruited A.J. Brown to Philadelphia. They won a Super Bowl together. A.J. Brown's godfather, is Jalen Hurts. So they've had a long emotional connection, and now they're not talking. He said he was going to try to catch up with him before he leaves this town tomorrow after the game on Saturday, and we'll see if that happens. But for me, from a football standpoint, Dan, the big headline out of the New England Patriots in this practice is that A.J. Brown, far and away today, for both teams, was the best wide receiver on the field. He caught 6 of 7 balls. Remember, this is a guy that got not only one, but 2 $100 million contracts out of the Philadelphia Eagles. He was 30% of their passing offense last year. Patriots lose Stephon Diggs. They got to try to get back to the Super Bowl. They brought in A.J.
And I will say, I'm not harp on it, but bring it up at another point in this video. But like I said before, I've said this before. Maybe I was talking with other people. I don't think I did a video on it. But as far as the Eagles, losing A.J. Brown, they have gotten very good pieces with Dontavius Wicks. I know Wicks. Maybe not saying his first name right. Of course, they drafted Makai Lemon. You still got Smitty. You got Goddard at the tight end position. Got Saquon. Who's another receiver? They got another receiver. I thought it was another receiver they picked up. But the way teams are now going to play them, since no longer A.J. Brown is there, I'm not saying they can't overcome it, can't scheme against them. They got a new OC. But it's going to be different, not having A.J. Brown there. I'm not saying they won't be a good team on it. I still think the Eagles will be one of the top teams in the league. But I just want to see how defenses now will approach the Eagles now that you don't have to necessarily worry about AJ Brown, because when he was there, like, a lot of teams, if not all of them, are going to shift coverage his way. And then also with that, and also I want to see, as just a fan of football, I want to see Jalen Hurts. Like, you got some. I still think he got some very good weapons at that receiver position. Smitty is a great receiver. I think Wicks is a good receiver. McCall Lemon, I think, in college was good. Hopefully he can transition to the league and do well. I want to see that ball should be spread out everywhere, man. They still have a lot of good weapons. And so I think for me to see Hurts being able to distribute that ball the way it needs to be, I think you still got a lot of good talent in that room. It may not be AJ Brown type talent, but it's not like it's just a drastic drop off, is what I'm saying, in my opinion. Until we see it on the field, on paper, I don't see it. It's not drastic.
A.J. Brown, it looks like all of the off-season work and off-the-field work between A.J. Brown and Drake May is definitely paying off. And as for the Philadelphia Eagles, well, Jalen Hurts did throw 3 interceptions today in these joint practices. He threw a lot of balls to running backs, to Saquon Barkley and the rest of the running back crew. But when he had to go over the middle, he wasn't as accurate as Sean Mannion, the new offensive coordinator, wants him to be. So to me, when you look at...
And that was another reason why I did this reaction, because when I initially was watching the part where A.J. Brown said, no, not him. And then that part where he said he had 3 picks, okay, it's practice, stuff go happen. And then, he said he throwing a running backs. It's like, it's practice, new scheme, things like that. But this is, to me, in all seriousness, though, when it comes to Hurts, understand he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. But I know Eagles fans, it seems like a lot of Eagles fans, they go vouch for that guy. As fans, that's what you do. But for me, like I say, I'm a Cowboys guy. I'm a Cowboys fan. So, of course, Cowboys, Eagles, NFC East. I'm watching those games. I'm watching the Eagles, period. I watch a lot of Eagles football, just period. To me, Jalen Hurts is like the, as I say, common denominator in the Eagles' success. And for him, I feel like winning can disguise a lot. Because to be frank, him as an individual playing his position, he has not been that good. And then people will say, I know I was going to say, but look at the way he played in the Super Bowls. When it mattered, he plays well. And that is true. When that first Super Bowl versus the Chiefs, you say he was the best player on the field in that game. Then you can say, fast forward, I think 2 years later, versus the Chiefs again, he played well. No. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm tripping. Versus the Chiefs, yeah, he played well. He played extremely well. But I think when you have to be honest, if you watch him just play this period, regular season, playoffs, the team is that good to where, like they say, he don't have to be at his best. And I guess his best is, you could say, those 2 Super Bowls, the way he played in those games. But it's like, I can't, in confidence, based off what my eyes see when I watch him play. Last year was, offense wasn't that good, but it's like the offensive coordinator and different things like that. But I can't confidently say, oh, he's a top 10 quarterback, because when he is consistently, the team makes the playoffs. The team won the Super Bowl. He's just a guy that's a part of the team. Until he shows, which he's shown it, but he's like very inconsistent as a player, just overall his career. Like, he'll have a good game, and then he'll come back and have a bad game. And I'm talking about like running and throwing. He's not dominant either way with his arms or with his legs. It's not like he can, if my arm, the passing not working, I can be dominant running the ball. It's like, so I want to see him like take the next step as a court at his position, like as a passer, because I feel like he can do it. It's just like we just haven't seen it on a consistent level. And then you're surrounded by so much talent on this team, and it's like that's what he's a winner. He's the ultimate winner. Winning. No, the team won. The team wins. That's team. That's not. Yes, you're part of the team. You're the quarterback. You play a big part. I respect that. Super Bowl champion. But just because you're a Super Bowl champion, that don't mean that you are top tier at your position. There's been a lot of quarterbacks over the history of the NFL that's won the big game, won the Super Bowl. They was also probably part of a good team or on a team that was hitting the mark at the right time. To me, Eli Manning is in the same boat to where your highs were high, but your lows were low. Now, Jalen Hurts' lows ain't like Eli lows, because Jalen Hurts does protect the football. I'll give him that. But he's not leading the league in turnovers or interceptions or something like that. But, man, I want to see him, like, from a passing perspective, like, to go the next step, man. Like he could really be the face of this league, really running things. But his play does not match up. That's great. You win. That's what's up. But when you don't win a Super Bowl, like, pedestrian at his position. Pedestrian, in my opinion. Especially with all the talent that was on this team and is currently still on this team. From the O-line to the D-line to the secondary. This is strict offense, running backs. Even before they got Saquon. Like, you still had good – they went on Saquon talent level, but you still had good players. And so if he can take his game to the next level as a passer, then I am all in. I'm behind Jalen Hurts. But to me, it's like, you got to show and tell. You got to prove it. You got to prove it. It's a new year. Super Bowl, isn't it, like 2 years removed from that? So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens with Mr. Hurts.
Saturday night's game in Baltimore and the joint practice today. This offense, the new offense under Sean Mannion, is still very much, Dan, a work in progress.
Lots to work on there with the offense in Philly. He is the great Sal Palantonio on the scene for us with the Patriots and the Eagles. Thank you, Sal. You already heard from Adam Schefter. I'm Dan Graziano. We have Louis Riddick and Booger McFarland along for the ride today as well on NFL Live. Louis, start with you. Based on what you saw in those highlights, what you heard from Sal, what do you make of A.J. Brown out there against his former team?
It seems like he's integrating himself and being integrated into the Patriots culture rather seamlessly. And that usually happens when you have a lot of alignment working in your favor, right? When you have a head coach who really is advocating for you, who knows you as well as anyone. When you have someone like Josh McDaniels, an offensive coordinator, who's coached maybe the greatest football player of all time in Tom Brady, the winningest football player of all time in Tom Brady. When you have a quarterback like Drake May, who's coming off of a MVP caliber season and really knows that the relationship that you two guys, meaning him and A.J. Brown, have is going to do nothing but benefit you and benefit this football team. It's just nice to see that A.J. looks happy. He looks healthy. He understands that, look, I am the unquestioned number one here. This offense is, and especially the passing game, runs through me, and they're going to put me in positions to succeed. That's why you see that big smile on his face and those nice straight white teeth just gleaming, because he knows I'm the guy. I'm the unquestioned guy, and we've got a pretty darn good football team.
Thanks.
I thought the most interesting thing that Sal said was that A.J. was by far the best receiver on the field. To me, that spoke volumes, because you wondered how he would have handled this type of practice situation. He's probably not going to play much in the game, but he came out today on a mission, and I get it. It's just practice. It's just ones-on-ones. It's good on good. But it sounded like he came out today with a mission to show everybody, I'm still that dude. And with all the Philadelphia brass there and with all the New England brass there, it was very interesting to me to hear Sal say that A.J. was the best receiver on the field. And I think if you're Philadelphia, you have to ask yourself, and I know some guys are hurt, are you really sure Devontae and Mekhi can fill those roles of being 1 and 2 the way A.J. and Devontae did? I have no doubt Devontae can be a number 1, but we still have to go see him do it. We got to see him do it out there on the field. But as far as today, the fact that A.J. Brown was the unquestioned number 1 receiver on the field.
Come down to that Q now. You come down to that Q. I'm telling you, come down to the Q. All eyes is on Hurts. I'm telling you. AJ Brown gone. The distraction is gone. The distraction is gone. The so-called distraction is gone. So Hurts, put that ball where it's supposed to be consistently. Be accurate consistently. And everything else will take care of itself. Straight up.
The best receiver, according to Sal, to me that spoke volumes.
The New England Patriots wide receiver room is loaded with the acquisition of A.J. Brown and Romeo Doubs. You now have other wide receivers there, like Pop Douglas and Mac Hollins and Kyle Williams, guys who last year they were counting on to make big plays, who really don't have to do that with this current iteration of the Patriots offense. A.J. Brown.
So I already talked about this. They receiver room, they probably got one of the better receiver rooms. Shoot, they didn't mention Kayshon Boutte, man. I think because he was last year for them was like a big playmaker for them. At least somebody he was stretching the field a lot. But you got AJ Brown. I feel like the Mario Douglas, Romeo Doubs, Kayshon Boutte, and I don't know like how who's the 1, 2, 3. Yeah, who they fourth and fifth receiver will be. Maybe it's Mac Hollins and Kayshon Boutte, how they rotate them in. But that receiver and with Drake May throwing that ball, man, if I was a receiver, man, I'm looking to go to a team like the Patriots. Like for real. They got a lot. Like, I'm like, you're getting that pill. Or the opportunity is there to get that ball. Because they throwing that rock. So, yeah.
Has given them the depth at wide receiver, the big-time guy at wide receiver that the Eagles now could use without him. That's just the way it goes when you trade away a talent like that. The Eagles, of course, get back a future first-round draft pick, and they'll reap the benefits of that down the line. But this season, the Patriots have an added bonus weapon in A.J. Brown, and they still have Kayshon Boutte here. And as we begin to see wide receiver injuries mount across the league, Jordan Tyson in New Orleans, Jaden Higgins in Houston, you have to wonder which teams will be calling New England to see if there's a wide receiver to try to pry loose from the Patriots.
Yeah, we've been hearing Kayshon.
Wait, Jordan Tyson already got hurt? Gosh, dang. Come on, brother. What you doing? Dang, hurt his hamstrings. That's something right there, boy.
Boutte's name in those trade rumors for a few months now. You wonder if something does accelerate as the season gets. Kyler Biotish out in
there. I just want to talk about AJ, Eagles, Patriots, Jalen Hurts. Nah, I mean, that's all I had up on that one. But I just cap it off just like this. Hurts. It's my motivation to you, son. It's a motivation. You got to perform this year, sir. You have to perform this year, sir. You can't go a stretch of games where you throw for 0 yards in the second half or the first half. You do a good job not turning the ball over. I will agree. You need to be accurate, son. I'm a Cowboys fan, but beyond that, I'm a football fan. I want to see good quarterback play. I want to see all these quarterbacks up their game. Even Justin Herbert. Like, come on, bro. We need to win a playoff game. But back to Herbert. Just give me one, Herbert. And also, it's a team thing. But come on now. Be the common denominator. Come on. Come on, Hurts. I don't know. If you don't perform, you might be gone. And I'm not sure if your trade value is as high as certain Eagles fans might think. This is not Madden. If I play Madden, I'll probably get a first round pick for you. In real life, I don't think so. Because film does not lie. But we will see. Let's go, brother. You got to perform. In the regular season, you got to perform. Playoffs, you got to perform. I'm not even saying win a Super Bowl. Just you have to play well. I know people might say, it's all about winning the chip. It's all about winning the chip. Yes, it is. That's the team thing. But when Saquon rushed them 2,000 yards, starts with the O-line, played a huge part. But that's the O-line and the running back, don't get me wrong. But that's like you snapped. He snapped for that, Saquon, at his position. Yes, he also a Super Bowl champion. When you, as like a quarterback, win the MVP, like you stamp. That means like you were performing. And of course, winning the Super Bowl, like yes, but you can also get carried to a Super Bowl, like straight up. Dilford. Let's go, Hurts. Put the team on your back and you're on top of the team. So I can watch. Let's get it done. Let's get it done, bro. I'm out.